And we're live
Here we go.
with Christopher Boyd, part 2, part 1 of the part 2 series.
You want to explain why we're part two?
Yeah, so we just literally sat in the sun for about an hour, just filming. Maybe we could just put that up and put all the words that we say on this one over that video.
Oh, so, like we just sit here and stare at it, and then just like voice over that.
And just voice over to that. So we literally just had a conversation for about an hour up there. Just to set the scene, we're in Phoenix, Arizona right now, Tempe, Arizona. And we were like, dude, let's do a podcast. We're here for a leadership conference.
Might as well.
Let's do this thing. And the weekend got over. We walked upstairs to do it on the roof next to the pool. And we realized that all you really heard was kids playing in the pool in the background and planes flying above us.
Delta Airlines.
And we sat there for about an hour in the sun.
Yep.
An hour.
Well,
Sweat. So now we're right outside the conference room that we were in all weekend.
I feel like it has been like pretty like mild temperatures out here though. This week at least.
No, yeah, it was fine. It's just I was looking into the sun the whole time, I guess.
Yeah. That's why I put you there. I looked up and I was like, dang. All the people are just gonna see me swim. And I'll do this.
Well, we got Chris Boyd here. So, Christopher Boyd,
So,
tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? Yeah. Who are you, dude? Why are you on this?
shot beer. Just sort of fun, actually.
Well, let me preface that. Thank you for being here and being on this.
Yeah.
Be patient.
You're not gonna give me an intro? Or am I gonna intro this?
I think I'll probably throw an intro in before this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, from Chesapeake, Virginia. I grew up. Actually, we didn't even talk about on part one of part one, but I did 4-H. I don't know if you.
4-H, that's where you go out in the woods.
No, so I was 4-H livestock. So I grew up like raising like pigs and goats, sheep, and steers, steers. Yeah, I don't even know if you do that.
What is 4-H? Because I always grew up in the city.
It's well, I mean, it can look a lot of different ways. There's like a lot of different clubs, but the club that I was part of was a livestock club. So you basically have project animals. That most of them you get sometime around where you should go about, I think, and then raise the animal for a couple months, and then you have a show, which always takes place in the springtime. You show the animals, and then you're judged, and then after that, you depending on the show, so ours was a terminal show, so the animals went to processing after the show. We had like a big auction and stuff like that. So kids get to auction their animals, make a little bit of money, learn a little bit about business aspect, and that way. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I don't know. I've always been under the understanding of I want to run my own business, so I've always liked being the business owner. I don't like the talking to it.
Employer.
Yeah.
You are.
But yeah, 4-H is cool. You know, they taught me a lot of really cool things. I think the biggest thing that focuses on was like community service. So like growing up every winter, we would do like feeding the homeless, which is pretty cool at my church too. Which is awesome. Yeah. I just lined up that our 4-H partner with my church. We have a lot of churches in there.
You go to church your whole life?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. It was tough with like sports and stuff like that. Like just trying to get to go on Sundays and stuff. So I would say from the time that I was about 10, 9, 10 to like 15, every weekend I was man, just about. So that was like pretty tough being able to like, go to church consistently, but yeah, I mean, we never missed where my parents were a little bit more C&E goers, Christmas and Easter.
Five.
But yeah, when I was little, we used to go a lot. But you know, we just were traveling so much that it was just hard. You know, that's kind of understanding. But now with so many churches being online, it's pretty easy to pull up your church back home on YouTube.
Literally just did that this morning
Yeah,
at like 6:30 because it's 8:30 over there.
forgot my mic.
Yeah. 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 You played baseball.
Yep.
Okay. We talked a little bit about baseball in the last one.
Yep.
So this might be a little bit repetitive for like me and you, but
Not for peoples.
not for everyone's listening.
Yeah.
You could watch this, by the way. We're in the background right now. There's a mountain, pool, palm trees.
Close is like the cover photo.
It's beautiful. So check it out. Go and watch this. Turn on. It's got captions. It's good.
Closed captions.
But so you played baseball growing up your whole life, and you played in high school. And you talked about one of the things that you learned from baseball was the competitive side of things.
Yeah.
And you also had some injuries in baseball as well. We talked about.
Yeah, closed captions are in French, man. I had fun translating that.
The captions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they're hot. I don't know. You know it's 5 years flat.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I technically am paying bot
In Latin.
person.
Wow.
Yeah. I do have a certification.
A lot of people like Latin is the root of a lot of words. Like the Latin word is the root of a ton of words.
Yeah. Yeah, all the romance images.
What was like your first eye-opening thing in Latin? You think? Because I just learned the other day that was very eye-opening. It's July is named after Julius Caesar,
Yep.
and then August is named after Augustus.
Yeah.
Augustus Caesar, and that they took a date from February to put it in August.
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's a fun fact. What about
These are good fun facts. Yeah, I mean the Roman language, there's a lot of words for killing and dying.
oh, what's what they did a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's I thought it was fun. You know, it was I would say that there was probably only 20 kids in the class or something like that because of groups. But yeah, I started in 8th grade. I was actually really blessed. My teacher, she graduated from Marshall, Gilherd, or whatever they say. But yeah, Marshall University in West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she graduated from there, but she was actually the like national director for like the Latin exam. Yeah. Yeah, she was hot out there. Really dope dude. Shout out Miss Brooks.
Wow.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And you can just speak Latin, like just have a conversation in Latin.
Yeah, I mean I haven't I haven't looked at Latin in probably 5 years, 6 years. So it would take me a little bit. But yeah.
Is there places that they do speak Latin?
No, I don't think anywhere in the world speaks
Really?
like that classical Latin. That. Yeah, it's a dead language, so technically.
So
It's that's
they just pass it down through generations and still teach it.
Achilles. That's in war to
What's that mean?
Achilles is in the garden.
Get out of the garden.
Yeah,
Get him out of the garden.
yeah. They have something for like living rank. I forget, but we never like in class. We never like spoke it because there was no. I mean, we still speak Latin, so there was no like Spanish. Like speak Spanish in high school.
No.
No,
Actually, I think, 1 year.
like our school or whatever, you had to do like oral exams for like Spanish, French, kind of like, yeah, we didn't have oral exams. We just had, just vocab and tests. And Yeah, it's cool. The books we still have left, and then
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, Southwestern. I don't think I talked about Southwestern a lot on this thing. But yeah, it's a hundred. Just to explain what it is, it's a 160-year-old company. Well, 156 or something.
Right this.
Yep. So back in the day, the company actually had Civil War vets to get back on their feet. They sold Bibles, and they do it door to door, knocking on doors. And fast forward 160, well, fast forward a few years from that, we actually started helping college students pay for school and build skills and build character.
You were the one that started that.
What?
Right after this war.
Yep, that was me.
Yeah, so
That's why I said me.
yeah.
No, but yeah, we started helping college students, and then fast forward 150 years, that brings us to now. And I've found out about that program as a sophomore. You as a
I was junior great fifth.
Yeah, I know. I'm in pretty good shape. 75 hard, dig.
Yeah,
75 years of hard. That's what I'm doing right now.
it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was junior when I was it was actually a classroom survey.
So someone came to class and was like, hey, paid summer internship. It's commission based. You can make 15 grand. You can make 30. You can make 2.
Yeah. Yeah, Miles White, actually, another guy we used to work with, but it's actually so fun. So he was the one that came to class and then just talked about it and then threw a QR code up on board. And I was like, yeah, I need an internship. I need to do something. I didn't make 10 grand. And he actually gave my name to Corinne. It ended up being still here. Worst mistake Miles ever made.
But yeah, so that's what I do in the summertime is I sell, and in the fall and the spring, I recruit late to come sell in the summertime. So that's why I talk a lot about sales, and I guess I never really talked about Southwestern. But Chris has sold for 3 summers now.
Yep.
And did really well. I don't know if you could say a number company. There's like a team.
Slow.
Yeah, there's
We can let
government guidelines.
people do the math. We can talk about the units and then the conversion rate.
Sure.
And if they want to do the math, they can do the math.
Sure.
Yeah, my first summer, 9 weeks, sold 2,000 units. And 1 unit is equal to $8.50. Something like that. So that's my first summer. And then my second summer, I sold 4,892.
How many weeks is that?
That was 11 weeks. 4,700. Multiply that by 8.5. And then this past summer, in 3 weeks, I sold 1200. So, get better. Growth mindset.
You didn't say how many weeks you sold 1,200, but
In 3 weeks.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you did it. Maybe missed it. But I was like, yeah, that's an increase there, bud.
Yeah.
4,700 to 1,200.
Yeah, I had another internship that I had to do. So it wasn't like I forgot how to.
Yes. But anyways, the money's cool. It's three months in the summer, so it's not like anything.
Yeah, it's all
Wild and enormous. Yeah.
it's for sure.
But really, it's the skills you learn, the people you meet, and the character.
Yeah, family's cool.
Yeah, we sell educational products. So that's another thing. So like ACT prep, reference books. We have a Bible story set. We have a leadership development program. It's really cool. It's a coaching program for like 6th graders on up. This is not a plug for that, but just to give everybody an idea of what we're talking about here.
Some crazy stories, wild stories.
Yes, some funny story from the field,
Oh yeah,
the education field. We do it the same way. We knock on doors. We do it the old-fashioned way. Ask any successful person, entrepreneur, about knocking on doors, and they would respect it. It's like one of those things not a lot of people know is all those successful people respect it. And there's a bunch of alumni, obviously, but we just heard from the guy that recruited Chip Gaines back in the day of HGTV's Fixer Upper.
yeah. We thought Chip was gonna be here, but I guess we're not.
He said, look behind you, Chip's back there. And everybody looked, and he wasn't there.
He got it. Funny gift.
So Ironman, dude.
Yeah, or 1.2.
Yeah, so you're running a half Ironman in like a few weeks.
3 weeks on the day.
Dang.
Yeah.
So how long have you been training?
Started training probably seriously starting November. That was like really like got serious like throughout like September, a little bit in fall and stuff like that. That was like here and there, right? Every other day. Okay, cool. Mile, 2 mile run, lifting, 30, 40 minutes on the bike. But yeah, I would say starting a beginner's move. Take out. Read. And then it's been 11% this past couple weeks of intense. So,
What is a half Ironman?
half Ironman is it's a triathlon event. So you got a 1.2 mile swim, approximate 50-mile bike, and then a half marathon. It's hard. The legs hard.
Yeah, you do a half marathon last?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some people are like, a half marathon scares. Imagine swimming a mile before that, biking 50 miles after you swim.
So you biking up hills or is it just flat?
The course I'm doing is flat, but I mean they do Ironmans all around the world. So yeah, I wanted a flat course for my first one. I didn't want to do anything crazy because obviously I live in Blacksburg, which is the mountains. Running in the mountains is hard enough. I couldn't imagine having to run and bike in the mountains. So, maybe the next one I do the mountains and, see how that challenges me. But for right now, I wanted to take this path.
Yeah. Simple is not a half Ironman. Very simple. One thing I'll tell you about you is, and I said this on the other one, but I'll re-say it, is you go all in with everything you do. And I really respect that. Because there's not a lot of people out there that just go all in. They just make a decision.
Yeah.
And obviously there's good things to go all in for, and there's some not so good things.
Like crack.
Yeah, hard stuff like that. Yeah, those are not so good things to go hard all in for. Which I don't think you've gone all in.
No. That's
Make sure.
good.
But yeah, you go all in a lot on everything that you do, and so I respect that because I know you're in Virginia Tech, you're in your master's degree, you graduated in 3 years,
Yep.
and you had 30 credits coming out of high school.
Yeah, that was, thank my mom for that. Motivated a lot. Saving a lot of money. A lot of time and headache too. I basically got like all the general education credits out of the way before I even stepped on campus. It made that freshman year, which freshman year was really weird because I was a COVID grad in high school. And then coming into that fall, everything was kind of weird. So like no in-person classes, nothing like that. All the labs, everything's online. Really, that's
Okay, we were talking about. Let's go back to the Ironman because
I'm excited.
because kind of got off track there. So, Ironman. So you've been training for a while. What does training look like? How many days a week do you have to train? Yeah.
So every day is training, some capacity. Running 3 times a week on average. You basically have one long run a week, and then 2 other shorter distances as they're shorter. But so that'd be like like an hour and a half hour workout, something like that. Lifting, keeping the upper body in shape, and then 4 mile run or something like that after this. So it's not crazy, but I definitely haven't ran a race yet. But everyone that I've talked to has just continuously mentioned that the hardest part about it is the preparation. Which I think if you're gonna do anything, the hardest part should be preparation. Like you prepare really hard, and then you go and do it. It just makes it easier, right? It's like whether that's sports, whether that's competing, bodybuilding, triathlete, business. It does not either way. If you prepare it really hard, it just makes whatever you're going to do that just so. Plus, you get the added boost of like adrenaline. A bunch of people all doing the same thing. it's always easier to do stuff when you have other people with you. That's also the hard part about preparations. I'm just relaxed. Yeah, it's like you got lonely. Yeah, you're on bike for 2.5 hours. Uh, Not so. Yeah, I'm definitely some preparations. But it's rewarding, especially when you get done. Dude, I just went 45 miles. Again, feels great. And it's yeah, I did 35 miles on my birthday. So good little birthday gift. Twisting.
That's a good boost of dopamine, adrenaline.
Good to me. Yeah. Yeah.
That is a good birthday gift. I mean, you feel good, you feel confident.
Yeah, then you can eat whatever the heck you want.
Whatever you want. When I was training for that marathon, I could literally eat whatever I wanted. Like maybe one good meal a day, and then the other 2 meals, whatever.
Yeah, I ate a lot. Yeah, we did a Chipotle counter on farm. We basically, out of the four of us, every day so much. And like on average for like boots.
Sheesh. It's a lot of Chipotle.
Well, my one roommate works at 12 too, so that they kind
Oh, okay, well there you go.
excuse the
See, yes.
so you got
See, you got to lead.
yeah.
You got to lead with that one. So with this training, I mean, what's so you got 45 miles on a bike, stationary bike. Okay. We talked about this in the other one that you haven't even trained at all on yet road bikes, like an actual bike in the past 4 years.
Dude, I think actually I was thinking about it. I think it's been longer than that. I think it's been like 6.
At 30 weeks from now, you're going to be biking
50 miles.
50 miles in Texas.
Hey, I'll figure it out eventually. I got 50 miles to figure it out. I might figure it out in 49 and a half, but it will get figured out.
So what do you do if you got to pee?
Oh no. I guess just be yourself.
Because it's like 6 hours, 7 hours.
I gotta imagine. I mean, they have like booths and stuff like that set up where they have like nutrition bars, water. So I gotta imagine they got like porta johns somewhere.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that at the.
I mean, for the first part of it, you're in water, so I guess you could just you're just like,
Yeah. Who has?
yeah. You guys take the ocean for
It's a natural thing.
talk about keeping.
Well, I was just curious because like
I actually
I do it down. I like.
mine, so I'm like down like what do I do?
So on the marathon, yeah, they did have porta potties. I went one time, like the 7th mile. Then after that, I couldn't drink enough water.
Yeah, I'm like kind of scared for that now. Like, what if I gotta like boot?
I mean, it's like things that you don't really think about that you should go beforehand, though.
Dude, maybe I should implement that into my training. Like 20 miles.
They go to that.
Go to the bathroom.
Maybe go and
Come back and bike. 20 miles. Dude, but like, I don't know. I'm weird like that. Like during my training, like I do kind of I don't do that. But like for my swimming, so they release you in like waves, but they still it'll like congregates in groups, right? So, you get hit with other people that are swimming, kicked in the face, someone swimming right next to you. So, a lot of people, I'm just getting in the swimming world, so if you're an actual swimmer, my apologies. But I feel like when I watch other people swim and when I swim, they like want to breathe out of like one side continuously. Like everyone's got like a good side to breathe on. But in my head, dude, what if somebody's swimming on my good side, like right there, and like every time I go up, they're coming down and splashing water, and I don't know, choke and drown. They're drowning. So I'll like rotate, switch it up, do like a back stroke every once in a while, just to like throw some curveballs there. If you can practice curveballs, I think that helps you out. I ran 8 miles and an inch and a half of snow. That was nice.
Yeah.
I almost slipped up 4 times.
Yeah.
You see it by a car. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, dude, training for the marathon.
Yeah.
Sorry, if you're listening to this, but I've been real close a couple times. Not like actually, but there's been times where I think it's been sketchy. These 1-lane roads.
Yeah.
Because when you train, you can't really like just map out 15 miles, without going into a random. There's just no 15-mile path just for running or biking.
Yeah.
Like 15 miles, you're going to run into some areas. It's a little bit sketchy.
Yeah. We've got like a Huckleberry Trail. I think it's like a couple miles around it. It's pretty long. But yeah, I mean, even that still crosses like a couple roads, literally goes under an interstate. So, keep it kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I guess that's me going around small town in Iowa.
Dude, like, it's the beauty of it, like, training and, like, doing really hard things, and then just, like, the crazy stories that happen in process. I love that. I think it's...
Yeah. Yeah, I remember one time I had to run, it was 17 miles. It was the day after we had, like, some type of meeting in northern Iowa. It was like some kind of Christmas thing. And mind you, I did this marathon in January here in Arizona.
Yeah.
And all my training is in Iowa in the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
And it was literally, I think, below 20 degrees. Not like 20 below, but like in the teens, somewhere in the teens. And I ran 16, 17 miles. And I don't think it was snowing, but I think my phone died halfway through. Like it had enough charge. It just got that cold that it just died. It just died. And by the end of it, I remember getting the elevator at my apartment building, and I have a nice apartment. It's like some older folks that are pretty well off there. They're just kind of like, they're just chilling. This is where they want to be. Got a nice place, got a gym and all that stuff. Golf simulator. Yeah. But I get into the elevator, and I push 2 from floor 1.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, you're not taking the stairs? Older gentleman. And I'm like, I just ran 17 miles. Oh, okay. Yeah. You're fine. I'm like the big elevator.
Jeez.
I know.
Great stories, though. Great stories. Yeah. Yeah, running that inch and a half of snow was, I just can't run a treadmill. I just can't do it. Props to people that can do it. Can't do it. I don't like it. Makes me like sick to my stomach. Like running, but not moving. Yeah. Nah. Oh, can't do it.
It's definitely hard. For somehow running on a treadmill is harder than just actually running on flat land.
I agree.
I don't get how that happens, but I'll run the same pace as I would on land, and it'll be 10 times harder.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that training at elevation, I mean, obviously, it's like that's why a ton of like Olympic athletes go to like Colorado and training and stuff like that. But, yeah, dude, like there is definitely. That's also why I wanted to do my Ironman like somewhere warm and like somewhere flat, but like not in the summertime. I wanted like a moderate temperature. So, but yeah, it's like training in Blacksburg. It's beautiful because of the views and stuff like that. But like, that just sucks. It sucks. Like honestly, most of the time when I'm training, in the moment, I'm like, why am I doing this? But it's the 5-second rush, like when you finish your workout, like that's what you do. And like, if you've ever had that feeling, you know what that feeling is. If you've never had it, go find it. It's a great feeling. Probably the same feeling as like a crackhead or something. For me, it's crack.
You think so?
Maybe.
If you were to imagine, that's the same feeling. It's just that feeling of hot. It's like, so I'm doing the 75 hard right now. We talked a little bit about that on the other one, so I can like recover some things. But it's
In part one.
part one of part one. I covered that already, so go back and watch that one.
On the JCP.
Try to listen to it over all the freaking American Delta country airlines going above us.
On flight 609.
That was crazy. And the kids in the pool in the background.
Yeah.
Man. But so 75 hard is 45 minutes workout. What?
Some barking dogs.
And yeah, somehow there's a dog there.
Getting somewhere.
75 hard is a 45-minute workout indoors, 45-minute outdoors. And you got to drink a gallon of water, and you have to no alcohol, and you have to be on a diet, no cheat meals at all for 75 days. And the hardest part, well, we talked about this before. I think the hardest part is actually the diet. The hardest part.
Dude, I feel like that's way harder than what I'm doing. Like, you have to be locked in all day.
Yeah, I totally it's hard.
Yeah. I have to lock in like 2 or 3 hours and just like make sure I eat clean.
Yeah.
But like that's literally 24 hours.
Yeah. It's very hard. The consistency part, I'm learning a lot about myself. The diet's the hardest part because I want to eat a cookie so bad sometimes, or want to
Yeah.
just like chips and salsa, or like
Dude, I love this.
snacking in a cookie. Heck yeah. And the drinking part has been really fascinating because I think that's helped me grow the most just over the past 15 days in. And no drinking has been great. I wake up great. I go to bed at a decent time pretty much every night. By 12 o'clock, I'm like hardly even stay awake.
Yeah.
And I still wake up dehydrated, obviously, but not nearly as much as if I was drinking. And I think people lose so much weight after they cut drinking out because it's not the drinking itself that's the big issue of them. Unless you're drinking, like we talked about before, unless you're drinking a case of Budweiser a day, then
Pounding back 24 cold ones.
yeah, then the diesels is what they call those.
Yeah. Dude,
That's what the Budweisers are called, yeah.
Jesus.
The diesels. But if you're drinking 24 diesels a day, okay, then you're going to gain some weight. You're still going to gain. It's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. But if you cut that out, you realize that, I don't have the urge to eat like crap Saturday night too.
Yeah.
I don't have the urge to eat like crap on Sundays.
Lunches.
All day and Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, yeah, that's definitely been a huge like lifestyle switch for me. It's like drinking less and just drinking clean. Like waters. A lot.
You're down, what,
42 pounds
42 pounds?
since November. September.
Right on, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just like, if you want to make a change, make a change. But nothing changes. Nothing changes.
So what was your inspiration for all this?
I don't know. I mean, being an athlete, I like competing. It's such about competing at part one. But, really just Corinne kind of put the bug in my ear. It's like I saw she did it. And I was like, what's that? Should have talked to me about it. And I was like, it's really hard. Yeah, that's not that hard. Hard stuff. But yeah, she did it, and I was like, I respected her, and I was like, okay, cool, like, I want to do it. I think I also have a habit of like, can I do this? It's just like really hard stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can do that, but like maybe, and then like my mind goes to this like area of like, okay, well, if I like pursue that, in the process of pursuing that, like who would I jump? And then it's like I can like almost like look, into the future or whatever about like that future person, that future version of myself. and be like, okay, like that's really cool version of me that I would like to see. And so I think that's why I gravitate towards hard things. It's not to be like I do hard things, but it's like I do hard things to become this version. That makes sense. So yeah, I think a lot of people are like that. Um, Obviously you got those, those junkies that are like David Goggins. He's just like, I just do really hard stuff to like shove in your face. I do really hard stuff, which definitely respect the heck out of that. Uh, but yeah, man, I just like doing hard things because of who it like molds, creates the process. So that was Craig got me into it, got the bug, and then now like 4 or 5 other people that we work with do it. Lexi Larkin, I was talking to her last night. Her dad's running 5 Ironmans. I had no idea. She was like, yeah, like, get involved. Get involved. But yeah, man, it's a really cool community to. So I'm just getting into it, but it already is like opened its arms wide and accepted me, and I'm excited. Who knows? Maybe you'll be hit shot me one day, and I'll be world champion iron. That'd be crazy. That nuts.
It could happen. You got to find belief level.
Really?
Jim Rohn talks about that a lot. Jim Rohn. So he's a motivational speaker, but from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, I think. And all of this stuff is in black and white. But he talks about don't just do it to do it. Do it to become the person that's capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Do it for the person that you're going to become because of that. Like he talks about this. He talks about don't just make $1 million to make $1 million. Make $1 million to become the person that's capable of making $1 million.
Yeah.
That's stuck with me. That's essentially what you're talking about is who you're suddenly going to be.
A lot more elegant, wet.
Oh yeah, he's an elegant guy. Elegant,
Elegant.
whatever that word is. He's elegant.
Yeah.
That's probably another thing he talks about too is expanding your vocabulary. So
expanding your vocabulary.
it's kind of how I said though.
Shit. That was funny.
So we talked about.
What else did we talk about on part one?
So we didn't talk about golf. We talked about golf. I golf. I golfed throughout high school. And I know you're getting big into golf. You just shot a 92.
93, 2 minutes scramble. Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah. It was early morning. Played at like 10 or something like that. But we had a bunch of stuff. And it was like a hour and a half drive to the course. So yeah, I was up early and moving early for most of the world. Pretty on par from a long time in the
Yeah, I mean you're also at Eastern time, so really Central time.
Yeah. But yeah, the course was beautiful. I mean, for being in the winter, it was down in the Outer Banks. Really nice course, actually, really nice. Fairways were amazing. Greens were tricky, slope, big slope. I don't know whoever put the holes in that. They were on dating time.
Yeah,
they were putting its tough hole conditions. That's for sure. So yeah, it was we shot a 93. It's not gonna be like stoked about, but first round out of the winter.
Yeah. A lot of people talk about golf as this like I don't want to start it because I'll get addicted, or they are addicted, or they just have no idea about it.
Not addicted.
So why are you addicted? What excites you about it?
One, the fact that you can go out there with like friends, family. I can also play it till I'm 90. Yeah. Got our can to move up to the senior Gs. Get par 4 from like 180 yards.
I think you can't wait for that, you 23-year-old. I think you can't wait a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, there's something about it that it's so simple, but extremely challenging. like you're hitting, like in baseball, it's like round ball, round bat. But in golf, round ball, square face. And you would think that, I don't know, average fairway is going 100 yards across or something like that. Like, that's a pretty sizable distance. You would think, oh, okay, like it's not that hard. Just hit it straight. If you've ever shown a golf club twice, you know that's just not true. So I think that's really cool about it. The fact that it seems so simple, but yet it is extremely complicated. It's as complicated as you like want to make it. I think there's a lot of ties like to life. The fact that, you know, they say like 90% of golf is like between your ears. You know, that's so true. Just like not letting your emotions like affect yourself from like shot to shot to shot. Or like in life, it's like not letting your emotions, you know, affect your decision. The fact that you can play it with friends. I love being able to do stuff with other people. So yeah, and I mean, there's nothing better than, you know, hitting drive right down the middle. But from 13, 14 feet out, see it fall. It's a cool feeling.
Hitting a 4-iron 220 yards out and sticking it to like 3 feet.
Playing a golf tournament where the winners shoot a 48 and have a throw yards.
Yeah, what the heck? This golf tournament that we played in Virginia.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. They came back in. They shot 48.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, we shot like a 62. I think we were like 8 under or something. 7 under, 9 under. We were like, we probably won't win, but that was pretty decent.
Yeah.
The winners beat us by 14 strokes. Ridiculous. Like, what? 14 under?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of like correlation to like life from golf. And I mean golf is, I mean it's in a huge boom right now. Ever since COVID. Low key conspiracy theory, but I think that PGA like caused COVID. Don't quote me.
You think so?
But I mean, how many people like were like super into golf before COVID? Every other sport got shut down, but golf.
Yeah. Wow. I think golf's good. I think golf is so relatable to life in the fact that you hit a bad shot, you got to forget about it.
Yeah.
You make a mistake in life, you got to forget about it, move on. You are having the best year of your life in working out and sticking to a diet plan. Then all of a sudden you go out and you have a binge week of just eating and drinking whatever you want with your friends.
Yep.
That's like triple bogeying when you're even par on hole number 10, right after the flawless front line. Yeah. And you just got to keep it together.
Yeah. It's one shot. They can just turn up or down. You have no idea.
Exactly. I mean, that's what happens with a lot of people, like their diet plans or their workout plans. It's like they have one bad stretch and then all of a sudden, well, I'll do it next year.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll retry again next year. It's like, just because you have one bad day doesn't mean you should ruin the rest of the year.
Right.
Same thing in golf. You know, it's 4 hours compared to 365 days. But like,
yeah, and it's like if you think about it, so 4 hours, 72 strokes. You like you can buy this and it's like you've got to be laser focused every shot, and if you're not, you're just adding more and more. Yeah, it's like laser focused to do the least amount of work. It's like every other sport is like laser focused to do more work. Golf is like laser focused to do less. Less is better. Nice.
yeah, I think it's also the same. It's a lot different from other sports because you can hit a drive as hard as you possibly can, and then a 6-inch putt where you got to hit it so delicately down a hill is the same. It's the same meaning.
Yeah.
It means the same on the scorecard. You can't tell a difference between that one stroke and the other stroke.
Yeah.
But one of them, you're trying to hit it as light as a feather because it's going to break down this concrete hill pretty much of a green. And the other one, you're trying to swing out of your shoes literally to hit it as far as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And then in between that, you have a wedge shot where you have to like hit it 50% and try to put spin on it or something. Or in between that, you have a shot where you're trying to hit it through the rough, or maybe you're in the sand. It's like they all count the same, but they're wildly different.
Yeah, I think it's also, it's pretty comparative to life, because like what you're saying, it's like,
So
you have this putt that's, a couple feet for, and that means just as much as this, 250-yard drive. I think it's like important in life, because the best of the best golfers do both extremely well. It's like, obviously they have like long drop champions that hit the ball way further than the guys that throw. I'm sure they have like putt championships too. And those guys are probably really freaking good.
Oh,
What?
do they have those?
I think so. Maybe they don't. Maybe we can start that week. But yeah, it's like they got like long drive championships, putt and stuff like that. But it's like the best do both extremely well. Yeah. And so I think, that's just like a big thing for life. Is what you do it well. It'd be good at the full game. That's when you get most.
Yeah. Playing golf, every golfer has this where they hit the ball really well off the tee, whether it's 3-wood, they're 5-wood, whatever it is, hybrid, and then their driver, and they're like, all right, I'm dialed in. My favorite club?
Yeah.
If I'm hitting it well, I putter.
Right.
If you're really confident with your putter,
Yeah.
you're, all right, where can I put this on the green?
Yeah.
Anywhere. It doesn't matter. Because I know I'm going to 2-putt it, or I'm going to 1-putt it if it's close enough. And I mean like 20 feet. Like, you're confident, you're actually reading it right, and you got the greens dialed in. The most fun is the putter, because that's where you hear all the screams. You don't hear screams from the tee box. You don't hear screams from, unless you pull it out. But like,
unless you're Bryson Chen.
But the most exhilarating part is, look at all the major championships.
Yeah.
It's always the last round. Well, they didn't just win the tournament, but like, that's where all the fist bumps happen. That's where all the yells happen.
It's where you can mind.
Oh, drive for show, putt for dough.
Yep.
But what I was saying is, like, you can hit it great off the tee, and then your chipping is awful. And then you dial in your chipping, and then all of a sudden you're not so good off the tee, but you're a little bit better than where you were a month ago.
Yeah.
It's like refining those things over and over and over again. The practice really shows up. As we were talking about before, but the 75 hard, I think that doing something consistently day in, day out just grows your confidence. And I know I heard this brain expert talk about confidence. He actually had gone to like a couple of cults, and he was like, well, he wasn't in the cult. He was just studying he was studying the recruiters of the cult. And he's talking about how they build influence with people and how pretty much brain psychology of human beings.
Shut up, Ants.
It was actually a podcast episode, but it's like about Manson. But he was talking about how confidence shows up, and you can't see it, but you feel it.
Mm.
Like defining aura, that is the work that you've been putting in behind the scenes. Like I've talked about before, the front yard is what you show people.
Yep.
In front of the curtain. Behind the curtain, what's back there? Is there nothing back there? Or is it the biggest stack of evidence that actually this is who you say you are? Because if that's it, that's how you get that actual confidence, and people follow that. And if you don't have that, if your apartment's dirty, if you're your car is like on its last leg, and you don't even know how you're getting to places because your car is just awful, or whatever it is. Like you have that one empty pleasure habit to do daily. You can't quit it. Like a lot of people, it's drinking. A lot of people, it's pornography. A lot of people, it's, well, whatever it is.
Whatever the vice is, yeah.
But human beings can sense it. It's something in the way that they walk, the way that they talk, the way that they just carry themselves in conversation. Human beings can sense that there's just something a little off.
Yeah.
And this 75 hard to show us.
It's weird how we just feel that.
I mean, it's been like that for a long time. But the 75 hard, it's like, I would gladly show anybody my habits, my schedule.
Yeah.
Because this is exactly what I'm doing, and there's no secret, there's no, like, literally the secret is to put the work in, and like you were saying, and fall in love with the process of it. So I'm 15 days in. I didn't just start yesterday or today. I'm 15 days into it.
But we just committed this one, right?
Yeah, actually, just failed. Nah, I'm just kidding. Now I'm 15 days in, and I can already, see it. It's easier to wake up in the morning, like I said, all that stuff. But I could feel that it's more of I have more confidence. I can feel that.
Yeah. I think whenever you're doing really challenging things, it's important to tell everyone that you're doing challenging things. And not, at least for me, because what that has to do with is like the amount of people I've told that I'm doing this Ironman, there's just absolutely no way, one, that I back out of doing it, and two, that I would quit. I literally had a conversation with one of my best friends back home about this, because that's what he was like, do whatever you do. He's like, you can't quit. And like he was saying, like, a really joking way, he was like, dude, I'm not really down. Like, if you come back here and like you don't have a picture of you crossing the finish line, like, I'll never let you live it down. And I think it's important to like have those people like in your life that are like it is really challenging, but with the amount that you've like built it up and the amount you talked about it, if you don't go out there and do it, it's like I'm gonna give you some crap for it, which I think is good. I think it's healthy to have like those people in your life. But yeah, I think it also just helps me buy in the fact that like I've told so many people that I'm doing it, like I'm obligated to do it for those at this point, obviously for myself or support, but yeah, I mean, with the 75 point things, you've been promoting the heck out of that. And I'm that's, also like you're doing it. It's just like hold yourself accountable. It's like every time I think about it, oh, dude, I don't want to go on this run. I don't want to go this bike. I don't want to go swim. And then I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be prepared for the race. I might finish the race. And then what are all these people going to say about me? But yeah, it's like, I don't want people saying those things about me. So it's also like a motivation towards yes.
Yeah, man, it's like leveraging your word.
Yeah.
Sure. I think a lot of people, and me included, before I did the 75 hard, I was sitting there going, do I post this to social media? Do I post this in our work group chat?
Yeah.
Because if I post it, there's no going back. Am I actually...
You used to do that thing with your sister where you would post the workout of the day.
Yeah, shout out Lexi Paulson.
Lexi Paula Paulson.
Lexi Paula Paulson. No. But yeah, that's the same thing. It's just leveraging your integrity.
Yeah.
And going, hey, this is my integrity. I'm going to post every day. And if I don't post, there were some times where I did when I was doing it with Lexi, my sister, and I literally the next day I said, I didn't post yesterday. Go and say that on my story. Cause like, I don't know who was looking at that. I don't think obviously you were.
I was.
But I feel like sometimes I don't even care. Like if one person, like this podcast, for instance, I try not to look at the views, but sometimes I'm kind of curious. Like, I am just like, how many people are actually like watching this and stuff? And it's not that many, but it's growing. I can tell.
It's getting better.
But I don't care as long as like I think that there's somebody listening. Then that gives me my chance to do my best.
I'm
big textbook fan right here.
saying, I just brought a t-shirt.
Dang, I should get t-shirts.
#1 podcast.
That's year 2 thing. T-shirts.
Or 2 thing. Yeah, sure. Get
Like a year or 2.
get a t-shirt gun.
That's like a next year thing.
You know, you need one of those buttons that like Sam had from the iCarly. It's got a bunch of different like sounds. You just like push it.
Yeah.
Fireworks.
Dude, let's just talk about that for a second. So we're in like a hotel here, and we just had some guy. There's probably some cuts on this episode because people have been walking up and down this. One guy was walking this club talking about golf.
We should keep that one.
But yeah, this guy just rolled in on his scooter into this enclosed hotel.
Yeah.
And then looks around and asks us to, if we were here, as we have all the furniture in the middle of the hallway, and neither of us are wearing that type of clothing. So I thought that was pretty funny.
I should like have him come over here and like hand him a banana.
Okay, hey,
Like,
we actually don't.
yeah.
Sorry.
Don't. But like, here's the banana.
That was actually pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Not many people think that's funny. I think it's pretty funny. I think it's funny.
Josh, and you listen. Part 2, part 1.
So we pretty much covered a lot of bases here, Christopher.
Yeah, what else you got on the list?
I mean, one thing we talked about last time was how sales fits into, because we do sales, and you're a public health major, you're in your master's, and you shared a story about your practicum.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. So how does sales fit into that? What did that? It's called a practicum.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a small thesis, whatever. It's like really, really simple thesis. But yeah, it's called practicum. It's basically just practical work experience. So trying to get your foot in the door with some type of company or organization in public health that you have an interest in. So I'm interested in healthcare administration. Thankfully, one of my best friends back home, his dad is in healthcare administration. So I texted him and I was like, hey, what are your thoughts on me coming and shadowing and working for you this summer? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So I worked for some tariffs, helping in Virginia, North Carolina. They're expanding down to Florida. It's doing a lot of expansion right now. But I worked for PACE, so providing all care for the elderly, Medicare, Medicaid program. Just as all day care. So they like literally drive to these people's houses, assisted living facilities, pick them up on like a little bus to school. And then it's cool though. They have like a giant day room. They hang out and play games. It's really awesome because they have a primary care physician, they have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. It's just like the whole 9 yards right there for them. Which is really, really beneficial for those people because a lot of them have some sort of cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, dementia, something like that. So it's nice for not only the individual, but the families of that individual, or that participant is what they call them. But yeah, I loved working there. Met a lot of really interesting people. Worked with a lot of cool people, but I developed a program that we're actually moving into phase 2 right now, centered around falls and then geriatric population. So like literally if these people fall, their broken bones can cost thousands of dollars. And it's also extremely painful for them in the first place. So first phase was figuring out, okay, why are these people falling? What's causing them to fall? Like what is the reasons behind their falls?
That's gravity.
Yeah, exactly. Gravity, dogs market, way to the universe, Martian laser, that. But it could be anything. So it was like figuring out why they fall and then also like tracking it. Right. And so, leading this back to sales, but in the process of creating this program, it's like you can't just go into any organization and just start pouring your ideas into it without seeking first to understand where they're at. Right. It's like, I'm sure everyone's had at some point in their life someone come in that at some job that they worked that just try to like change the whole system. Right. And there's pushback, a lot of resistance, because people don't like, right? People like things that they know that are consistent. And so I also knew that when I came in, a lot of people saw me as like, the corporate intern. Like there was like, at first, very much, a separation between me and client. And so how do you come? We built relationships, was building a relationship in a sense. So that was the first sale I made, was that, hey, I'm not here to rewrite the system. I'm here to upgrade the system and make it better. Right. So that was the first thing I did. And I think the best thing you could do is find 3 or 4 people that are in the organization that kind of have the same thought process as you and get them on the team. Right. Because then it's almost like a crowd effect where they see, their coworkers who they know and trust you. And so then they start trusting. So that was like the first thing I did. Got 3 or 4 of them on board. And then we basically just met once we developed this idea, developed the program, took a bunch of information from outside sources and just asked a lot of questions. Asked a ton of questions. Always curious. Always curious. I think that's just something that's really underrated too. We just don't ask enough questions anymore. I don't know what it is. People are just afraid. People are afraid to sound dumb or, it's whatever it is. But yeah, I asked crap. I told I get questions. So yeah, we developed the program and then now we're going into phase 2 where we're basically meeting once a month, to implement some intervention methods. So one of them, super simple. It's so simple. It's going to sound stupid, but most falls happen between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. with people on the way to the bathroom. And so we went out, and looked at it, and we were like, this makes so much sense because they're walking in a dark hallway. All right, well, how can we fix it? We went out, bought some little cheap motion detector lights, plugged them into the wall out in the hallway. We saw like a 20% reduction. Literally the next week. It sounds like such a stupid idea. Huge impact. Yeah. I love stupid ideas that have huge impact. Like just simple stuff. Boom. And it's like, if you're thinking about like intervention methods, like you'd be like, okay, we need to get on like into PT once a week and like, let's like, build up their strength, let's get them on the swimming pool. And it's like $4 light off anything, plug it in the wall.
So, a 23-year-old intern, sort of intern, right?
Yeah. So whatever. They kept me on, keep me around. I have no idea why.
Dude, that's awesome. So sales obviously played a huge role in that, building the relationships, getting to know people, kind of like inserting yourself into the system.
Yeah. I said this on part one. But when after we create the program, then I had to pitch the program. And so on the day of the pitch, so in the room there was two doctors, 3 site managers, 3 or 4 physical therapists, occupational therapists, a handful of nurses. It was probably like 20, 25 people in the room. And then I gave a sales presentation of the project. And like that morning, I just did everything that we do in a Southwestern North. So it's like wake up, shower, affirmation, read some positive reading, eat a good breakfast. Before I gave the presentation, I give my self-talk. And then just went into, and I even like use parts of like our sales talk. So it's like the buying atmosphere and then the ask. I've literally asked a room full of adults about my project. Like, hey, if you guys like this, give me a big fat thumbs up. Same thing I would say in the summer. If you guys don't like it, yeah, that's cool too. But just let me know. I'm not going to go cry in the car. So it's just like the literal exact same thing that I would say in the summertime, and the same exact reaction from them that we would get in the summertime. Lightens the mood. I feel like it also helps like focus everything in, because it's like, hey, I know I've been talking, some high level stuff, but like now we're getting into it. Now I really need your attention. And it worked out, And it wasn't like I did the presentation and then immediately were like, oh my God, this is the best ever. I actually had one of the medical doctors come up to me and be like, kind of seems like a waste of time. And the other one came up to me and was like, this is straight awesome. So, I mean, you just got to take the punches with, how they come and keep pushing forward. Not everyone's a buyer, but, in the big picture, they did buy. So that's all that matters.
They buy you, Christopher.
Yeah.
Mr. Boyd.
Yeah, people buy you first before they buy a product. They got to buy you.
They did. They essentially just buy you. And it sounds like they wish they can
don't buy people.
Retain you.
Buying people is not good.
Yeah, do not. Yeah, not advocate for that. But we're talking about people. That's awesome, dude. Well, thank you for coming on. We'll do part 2 once you do your Ironman.
Part two.
So when is the Ironman? Let everybody know so they can fly out.
Ironman is April 7th. If you want to track it, you can actually track it. So there's an Ironman app. Just download the app, log into it, and then it's like, I'm a participant or I'm a fan. Just click on fan, and you can type my name in, Chris Boyd, and you can track me during my race.
Chris Boyd, man, the myth, the legend. Good old Virginia. That came down to Phoenix just for this podcast, you guys. So,
yeah,
give him a big shout out. Chris, what's your Instagram, Facebook? Chris Boyd, I'm guessing on Facebook, right? Or do you go by something else?
I don't know.
Instagram.
Instagram, I think it's like Chris.Boyd20, something like that.
There's another one, right? That's really close to that.
Yeah. So go to Virginia Tech, and there's another football player, and his is like Chris.Boyd21. So make sure it's 20, not 21. That's important.
Watch this podcast so you can see what he looks like and then pick that one.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I post fun stuff.
And then, what are you reading right now? How are you growing yourself right now as we speak, intellectually?
I actually, my dad gave me a book. It's called Turn the Ship Around. Really good book. Finishing that up today. It's about this submarine commanding officer that essentially restructured how the Navy leadership system works. So really freaking cool, really smart guy. So that's like one technical read that I'm doing right now as far as the leadership read. And then I'm reading through Mark and the Bible and the Bible.
Good old Bible.
Yeah, man, it's good. Bible study every Tuesday and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I think just getting in the Word daily, 5-10 minutes, nothing crazy. It's not like I'm, reading the whole sermon. Yeah, 5-10 minutes.
Easy. Well, dude, thanks for coming on. Iron sharpens iron. So you're sharper than me by doing this half Ironman.
Yeah.
And to all you guys out there, iron sharpens iron. So get after it this week. and go sharpen yourself to sharpen other people around you.
Hopefully part 2 turns out a little better.
Part 2 will be coming soon. All right, y'all. Peace. Dude.